Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where one thing is for certain. Hangman is a gorgeous man. It's Lost the Midcard. Here we are, post-Elimination Chamber. And boy, we got a lot to unpack from that baby, especially after Raw as well. So we'll talk about Chamber. We'll talk about Raw. We'll talk about NXT and AEW as they have both been exciting this week, and big weeks probably ahead for those guys. We'll talk about... yeah, that'll be about it. I missed Impact tonight, so we won't cover Impact, but maybe we'll talk about a funny moment from Impact that Matt just sent me. So we'll bring that up. Matt will bring that up some point in the show just so we can make fun of WWE. We'll talk BTE and some headlines and maybe get out of here quickly. It may seem like a short show. It may not. I always say that. It always turns into a 2-hour one anyways, because we may have a lot to talk about with WWE on the road to WrestleMania. There you see. Mirrored. I'm pointing to the sign, Matt.
How dare you?
I'm pointing to the sign. My first opportunity to point to the sign. Well, I probably pointed to the sign when Edge won the Rumble too. I don't know. Fuck, that was a long time ago. My memory's shot. Well, first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. Search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. Also, we are on the YouTube where you get that awesome video version of the podcast. So make sure to subscribe to us on the YouTube and hit the bell icon so you know every time a new video comes your way, as well as give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought about the podcast, or let us know what you thought about wrestling in general over the past week. Just leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. You can also go to our Twitter at LITMC Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Awesome.
He came to play.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
long overdue. I've probably been bitching about it on this podcast for probably as long as we've existed, over 6 years. That Miz has been long overdue for to be a world champion once again.
Yeah, well, enjoy that couple-week title reign.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Mr.
Transitional Champion is on the business right now.
We'll get into my predictions for that title here when we get to it, but first, Elimination Chamber was good. It was okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was.
Surely it didn't blow me away.
No, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it live because I wasn't home. I worked on Sunday night this week, and then so I watched it in parts. I watched basically the Smackdown Chamber match over lunch on Monday, and then the rest of it after work on Monday. So
I honestly think that was the best part of the show.
Smackdown Chamber. Oh yeah. That was the best part of the show. And I timed it just right to end right at Raw, and I watched Raw live for some odd reason. Actually, it was okay. It was an hour.
It was actually one of the more decent episodes of Raw in recent memory. Like there was a couple things that I kind of went at, but I mean.
Yeah, it was.
I think Monday's Raw I would call more good than bad.
Yeah, better than it was at the end of 2020. They've had a good 2021 so far. Raw has. So if we put the bar on how shitty Raw was almost all of 2020, it's very comparable to that because it was a good show. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was all right. Is Elimination Chamber. We kick off the kickoff show. Keith Lee injured, so pulled from the pay-per-view So they slapped together a fatal 4-way to fill Keith Lee's spot in the triple threat match for the U.S. title. Your participants: Ricochet, John Morrison, Elias, and Mustafa Ali. I guess I would say they went with the right guy here, Matt, with John Morrison.
I mean, they were just like, okay, who can we use the job?
That and who can give us a decent showing. You know?
Honestly, I think any of the men in that match could have went on to that triple threat match and given a decent showing. But the fact of the matter is, this was the who's going to job sweepstakes.
Who's taking the pin?
Because I'm not 100% convinced that if Keith Lee wasn't injured, that Keith Lee wouldn't have left Elimination Chamber with the United States Championship.
I think
he would have pinned Riddle.
Yeah,
I think no matter what, the entire idea behind that match was to get the title off Lashley without Lashley taking a pinfall or a submission.
Yeah, I think because I said it from the get-go that Lashley's going to be booked strong. Didn't realize they were going to pull that trigger so fucking quick. I said it on the podcast last week. Lashley's going to lose the title and going to be a world champion in 2021. Check the tape. I said it last week. I just didn't realize it was going to be on the road to WrestleMania. Do you think it's Lashley and Lesnar?
No, it's Lashley and Drew.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, all they're doing is this is typical WWE mentality. Mm-hmm. Drew won the championship last year at WrestleMania in front of no fans. Now they're going to let him have his moment in the stadium where it should have been in the first place.
Oh, you think so?
And he's going to beat Lashley in front of fans.
Oh, we're going to have,
and hopefully
we're going to change titles.
Get the reaction. Then hopefully get the reaction that they want.
Well,
but
it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
I don't know if they're going to get the reaction that they're hoping.
Yeah, it's going to be hard with only 20,000 people in a baseball stadium to get that kind of reaction.
Well, football stadium.
Aren't they going to be? Oh, that's right. They're not at Tropicana, are they?
No, they're going to be where the Bucks play, Raymond. Where the Super Bowl was.
So that's even worse.
The Super Bowl was plenty loud.
Yeah,
and they only had like 23 to 25,000 there.
Yeah,
there was plenty of audio there. And look, and if it was piped in, then the WWE pipe in shit too.
They always do.
But with fans there, I'm not 100% convinced that 1 year later that they're going to get the reaction that they want.
Yeah.
On Drew beating Lashley.
God, that's so weird. Have the title change hands so many times on the road to WrestleMania. But
in my opinion, Lashley, if Drew interferes next Monday, which he might,
I expect him
to make that match a no contest. Lashley will win the title at Fastlane.
Yes.
And then Drew will beat Lashley at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it personally. I would let Lashley have a run.
Me too.
But that's not what Vince is going to do.
Well, because we all want that. The only thing we really want Lesnar to come back for is a match with Lashley. So I thought maybe they would bring him back at Mania to face Lashley now that Lashley's in the title picture, and have Lashley beat Lesnar at Mania.
As far as I know, Lesnar ain't going to be at Mania.
Hey, I'm okay with that too.
And that's as of today, my understanding. And look, that could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
If Vince decides to get on the phone, and put up the money that he needs to sign him to a new deal, they could find a place for Lesnar on the show. But as of today, based on people that I've spoken to, Lesnar's not under a deal, and Lesnar's not scheduled for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Since Lashley got fast tracked to the Mania picture, I didn't expect it to be that fast, to be honest. So I think that they are doing it that fast to get a Lashley Lesnar match at Mania. I that's what I'm going to go with for now.
That would be a gigantic swerve that nobody. Okay, well then let me do this. What's Drew doing at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd almost have to triple threat that thing.
Yeah.
Because without that, Drew has no direction for WrestleMania whatsoever.
You probably could.
Because you can't put him with The Miz, because Miz is going to be teaming with Morrison to face Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yep.
So
Strowman's probably facing Shane. I believe it.
Really looks like.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that?
Dude, I don't.
Didn't I say that the minute Shane
came
back?
You did, but I don't like it. I don't think it's going to be any good.
I predicted that the minute Shane came back, I felt like Strowman and Shane.
And if Shane gets to jump off the fucking pirate ship and Kevin Owens doesn't, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
It sounds like Kevin's going to jump off the ship. But
yeah, but Kevin's going to need a match that's actually going to get him up to the pirate ship to jump off of it. Shane has those stupid matches all the time where it's pinfalls count anywhere and you're wrestling, all over the stadium and shit. I'm legitimately worried that Shane is going to steal Kevin Owens' pirate ship spot.
That or KO gets in a intercontinental ladder match.
I don't even know what. Yeah, I was going to say I don't even know what KO's doing in Mania.
Could be an intercontinental ladder match. Yeah, it could be an intercontinental ladder match. We'll see. I would
love that, to be honest, because they have there's easily 6 to 8 great talents on SmackDown right now.
Cesaro,
you can throw together
Bryan,
Nakamura. Yeah, I mean, and that's
Apollo.
Just right there off the top of our head. Yeah, Apollo, Big E. That's already and Sami Zayn.
We just made the match.
Did we just do 7 or did we do
6?
7 or 8?
I think it was 6 right there.
Hold on. Nakamura 1, Cesaro 2, Bryan 3, Big E the champion 4, Apollo 5,
KO 6.
KO 6, Sami Zayn 7. So we just need one more. We just need one more dude.
Seth Rollins, who's been feuding with Cesaro.
That's a good point. There it is. Look, and if they wanted to pull for some reason, do Cesaro versus Rollins 1-on-1, they could do a 6-way ladder match. I mean, look.
God, that match is gonna be so good.
There's potential for a lot of good shit coming from the SmackDown side. The thing that sucks is I would love to see Christian versus Big E, but I don't want to see Christian in a ladder match ever again.
No, I think we're gonna get Edge and Christian against the Usos at Fastlane. Probably.
That's exactly what I called that a month and a half ago.
Video just surfaced
right after the Royal Rumble. I called that shit. So.
Video just surfaced of Jimmy working out at the PC, so he's close.
Yeah, that dude. Oh my God, Edge and Christian versus the Usos. That's a WrestleMania match.
That could be.
I know they can't do it at WrestleMania, but my God, that's a WrestleMania worthy.
It is
tag team.
That could close Fastlane, to be honest, if they really wanted it to.
Oh man, that gives me chills just thinking about it.
Chamber match, SmackDown. Probably the match of the night was the SmackDown Chamber match. Everybody had a great showing. I said it once the 6 men were announced or were set for the field that this was a good field, and it did not disappoint. Fucking KO doing moonsaults off the pod. Just some good shit. One of my favorite parts of the Chamber is when everybody's coming out and talking shit to everybody in the pods. I always love that. Everybody wanted to headbutt the pods on Sunday. KO did it. Drew did it. King Corbin got eliminated first by Cesaro thanks to the sharpshooter. Then Zayn got eliminated by KO with the stunner, and then Jay slamming KO's arm in the door. That was a cool spot, wasn't it, Matt?
Looked like it hurt like a bitch.
And then just super kicking the fuck out of him while his arm's in the door. That was a fucking, I love that spot. That was great. Jey Uso then eliminates Kevin Owens. Then we go on for a little while. Uso hits a splash on Cesaro. So now we're down to 2 guys. It's Jey Uso, Daniel Bryan. And Uso went for the splash. Bryan got his knees up and then hit the running knee. And my prediction came true. Daniel Bryan, I predicted to win the Chamber. He did. Tremendous match. And, of course, the Roman Reigns match was immediately right away.
Yeah, which does not surprise me either.
No, not the way they're booking him. But after the match was over, a fucking awesome spear by Edge, who points at the sign to make you know who he's going to challenge at WrestleMania. I thought that was a cool moment. That was a good spear,
some wrestling reporters weren't too sure that it was blatant enough that was the match.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even going to call the person out by name, but good Lord, one of the stupidest takes I had ever heard
Yeah, it's dumb.
Dude, at that point in the show, he was willing to bet money that Edge and Reigns was not happening in WrestleMania. I'm like, how fucking stupid are you? They did the pyro and everything.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I got something for that guy.
Dummy. Yeah.
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 That was a great spear, man. That had some velocity on it. Velocity.
I'm still shocked it wasn't Owens. I really thought it was going to be Owens.
Yeah, I don't know. I just had a feeling it'd be Bryan because it was I didn't think it was going to be. I thought the Reigns match would be second to last. I didn't think it was going to be immediately right away. So then I thought we've done Owens to death. So I figured Bryan would give him a good match if it was later in the night. So that's why I had a feeling it would be Bryan. I was hoping to be Cesaro because that'd just be fucking badass that Cesaro got a world title shot, but better that it wasn't considering what they did and had Reigns put down Bryan in a minute and a half. But it is what it is. It was still a cool moment with Edge spearing the fuck out of Reigns and pointing to the sign. And as we still wonder if Edge is picking Roman for WrestleMania. Maybe you should call that guy out. You should call that guy out.
I'll be nice for now and not call him out. But if he says another stupid thing over the course of the next week, I might have to bury his ass on the show next week.
They show Bad Bunny on SNL holding the 24/7 title while he's performing. If this didn't tell you something in the end of the night, there, Bad Bunny asking Miz where his title is. If that didn't tell you something there. U.S. title match triple threat.
I don't really think that telegraphed anything.
Lashley, Morrison, Riddle. I thought it was a really good triple threat. Predictable as Matt was saying. The winner of the Fatal 4-Way was there to take the pin, and that's what happened. Riddle with
because honestly, if WWE was willing to have either of those guys take the pinfall, they'd have just had a singles match.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, all right, Lee's injured. We're gonna do a singles match with Lashley and Riddle and go on. The fact that they insisted on making that match a triple threat told me immediately, like, okay, they don't want Riddle or Lashley taking the pinfall loss here. And they, and something told me like they want that belt off. They need that belt off Lashley. They got plans for the big man, which I'm digging because I've been looking for Impact Lashley since he showed up in WWE.
He's been having a hell of a year.
And we finally got Impact Lashley, man.
Yep. He's been having a hell of a year. And then of course lately with the kind of enraged streak as well, but he just over the last year he's been having a hell of a year. And like I said, I said it was going to be in 2021. I just didn't realize it would be the road to WrestleMania. So women's tag match, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler took on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Reginald fucking things up, leading to Jax and Shayna retaining.
The match was fucking awful.
Yeah.
And there was absolutely zero need for the SmackDown Women's Champion to be taking a loss to Nia Jax on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The fact that Nia Jax, the woman who can't work to save her life in 2021, has pinfall victories over the SmackDown and Raw Women's Champions within a 48-hour time span literally makes me sick to my stomach. It's trash. And she's trash.
WWE announcing that Fastlane March 21st will be on both Peacock and the WWE Network, which some people are speculating, the transition may not be going as smooth. But WrestleMania was advertised to be exclusively on Peacock, but so maybe it's just a test. But a test and a back.
I don't know. They still haven't revealed the the information in on how this whole thing's going to go, and they're running out of time. It's just a couple weeks away now. So
if you didn't think Miz and Bad Bunny was any telegraphing, well, then you see MVP talking with Miz, and that should be telling you something. Raw Elimination Chamber is up. It's kind of crazy how there was hardly any matches on this card, but it only went 2.5 hours as well. Raw was definitely.
What's funny is I know you didn't watch the pre-show because you were at work, but on the pre-show they specifically said that Asuka was going to have an open challenge for the Raw Women's Championship on the pay-per-view. And then it never fucking happened.
Well, I got something
Thanks, guys.
I have something on Asuka. She's injured, apparently.
Well, freaking Shayna knocked her tooth out on Raw Monday night.
No, that was from Monday. Yeah, okay. I knew I pulled up something from PW Insider, but
Shayna knocked her fucking tooth out.
Probably the biggest shock of the chamber, Randy Orton getting eliminated early on by Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
Stupid.
And I really thought Chamber was going to be where the Fiend was coming back.
Wow.
I thought they were going to put Orton in a pod, and the Fiend was in, like, the lights were going to go out, and the Fiend was going to be in the pod with Orton.
That'd have been cool.
And they didn't fucking do it. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why do we really need Randy Orton puking up Papa Shango blood on Raw Monday? Like, just bring the Fiend fucking back already, and let's get this storyline actually progressing a little bit.
Let's get it on. A long, lengthy battle with 5 gentlemen in the match here until Sheamus eliminated Kofi Kingston. But then it was pretty quick after that as Hardy was eliminated by Drew McIntyre via Claymore. And not too long after that, Sheamus got eliminated by AJ Styles with the phenomenal forearm, which was then down to AJ and Drew. Probably the coolest moment of the match, Omos ripping the pod door off of to let AJ avoid an RKO because Randy went on an RKO binge after getting eliminated.
I wish they would have played into that more. I wish, like, after AJ got into the chamber and tried to get the pinfalls and they both kicked out, I wish he would have been like, try to get back into his pod.
Oh yeah.
It had Omos come in and like rip the pod door open and let AJ back into the pod.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been fucking funny. And then he would come out, at his designated time.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think they did enough with that spot. I think it was cool, but it could have been better.
Yeah. Then AJ and Drew did not last long at all. AJ going for the phenomenal forearm missed, or actually did not miss. He hit something. He hit a Claymore kick in midair, which was a very cool spot to end the match. Everybody was it was a good match, but not nearly the level of SmackDown's chamber match.
Yeah, I thought the SmackDown chamber was a lot better.
It also didn't have the intrigue because we almost all knew Drew was winning. We didn't quite know who was going to win the SmackDown one. And after the match, Bob Lashley comes out and beats the holy hell out of an already exhausted Drew McIntyre, slapping the Hurt Lock on. And, here comes the Miz. He's got the briefcase. He's cashing in the briefcase. Hit his patent DDT, only got a 2 count, but then hit the skull crushing finale to get the 3 counts. So your new champion is Miz, who celebrates in the ring to close the show. So there we go. Got a Money in the Bank cash to close out. Monday Night Raw. We kick things off with Miz TV, the championship celebration, which then got interrupted by Bobby Lashley, MVP, who revealed, which we all knew, that they had cut a deal to give Bobby Lashley a title match. And Bobby Lashley basically gives Miz an ultimatum that he has 1 hour to produce that title match, or he's going to be in a world of hurt. And so then we got the old.
I thought that was a super smart strategy to try to keep the viewership from hour to hour. I actually thought WWE did a really good job on Raw Monday night of connecting a storyline that lasted for the entire 3 hours.
Yeah.
In an effort to try to keep people from tuning out. I really thought they did a good job on Monday with that and should be commended for trying something to keep the viewership from beginning to end.
Well, at least hours 2 and 3 had an increase from last week, so.
Yeah, I mean they didn't lose as many viewers.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks in a row, Raw's ratings have gone up. So I mean that's a good sign for the company. So hopefully, in WrestleMania season they can continue that trend.
Yeah.
And they can continue to get some good ratings going forward, going into WrestleMania. Just keep putting out good shows. Like, man, it's that time of year. This is when we want the best out of WWE.
Exactly.
Don't be pussyfooting around. Put your best foot forward for the next 2 months at least, please.
Riddle and Morrison, hell of a television match between these two guys. I think it was non-title.
It was, yeah. Great match, though.
Amazingly enough, WWE loves to have the title holder lose non-title matches, but they did it twice. They had the non-title matches. The champions actually came out up on top tonight, or on Monday night. Yes, as Matt said, tremendous match between Riddle and Morrison. That went about 11 minutes. Great television match between those two. That was a great. I really would love to hopefully see that mean something for Morrison going forward. But we have officially found out that Rhea Ripley heading to Monday Night Raw pretty soon. Makes complete sense to put her on Raw, in my opinion, kind of separate of Bianca Belair, so they can have two of the brightest young stars on different brands. Plus, I think the Raw women's division needs a little shot in the arm, Matt. So
I'm not arguing.
There's a lot of things that need a shot in the arm on Raw. So
yeah, dude, Vince hasn't cared about the women's division since Rousey and Lynch left.
Yeah.
So when he lost those two, he stopped giving a shit.
Yep.
And I mean, it fucking sucks, but that's the truth.
Bad Bunny with Damian Priest getting interviewed. R-Truth showing up. R-Truth making some Space Jam references and popping Priest. I thought that was funny that he popped Priest. That was kind of funny. And they're also making the insinuation that it's going to be tough to get the 24/7 title off of Bad Bunny because Damian Priest is looking out for him, and Truth calling him DP as well. Going back to the great joke of not joke, but of a quote that Charlotte Caruso says she loves DP, and she'll never live that down, will she, Matt?
Hopefully someday.
Matt, Miz. I don't know how I got those two confused, but
yeah, it's Mike the Miz. Come on, man.
Miz complaining to Adam Pearce about Bobby Lashley. Pearce is like, I'll respect what you decide to do, Miz. You might die. New Day comes out. They do a plug for Punky Brewster, obviously because of Peacock, and obviously because there'll be some WWE stars on there. Funny enough, though, Freddie Prinze Jr. on the show, who used to be a writer for the WWE back in the day. Retribution taking on New Day. Mia Yim back. Reckoning. Of course, they changed Damian Priest's finisher name because her name's Reckoning. So, but that's all right. They named it after a classic Metallica song, so I'm okay with Hit the Lights for Damian Priest's finisher. So that's good. New Day gets a quick win over Retribution, and Mustafa Ali ripping on his Retribution teammates. I guess go either one of two ways, Matt. This is the end of Retribution, beginning of the end, or they're going to get a push, one of the two. I don't know. Is this the beginning of the end of Retribution, you think?
I would prefer it.
Yeah.
Should have died of death like 4 months ago.
I'd like to see Dijak as Dijak and not whatever his name is. Teabag or whatever.
Slap dick. And munch. Butt munch.
Top hour 2 is time for the ultimatum. Miz comes out in a suit, so he ain't ready to wrestle, so that pisses off Bob Lashley. Miz says he needs more time. Lashley says, quit stalling. Quit wasting my time. Playing with my money. It's like playing with my emotions. And Strowman comes out. Strowman says, if anybody is getting a WWE championship match around here, it's me. And Shane McMahon comes out. See, that's where it's almost making it obvious that it's going to be Shane and Strowman down the line. But it all ends up in a colossal main event. Strowman, Lashley, winner gets Miz next week for the title, which I'm fine. I think that was a good main event, Matt. A couple big bulls clashing in the main event. I'm all right with that.
I'm happy we actually got a clean finish.
I'm happy how the fix ended. We'll get there in a minute.
That was probably my favorite thing about it was the fact that Lashley went over clean.
Where are we at now? Texas Tornado match, Hurt Business and Lucha House Party. Hurt Business get the win there, so they're probably done with that feud, I would assume. For some reason, they had Damian Priest take on Angel Garza for a second week in a row. Garza gets the win, or Priest gets the win there.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
After the match, Priest destroys Tozawa and Humberto Carrillo and Drew Gulak. All tried to go after Bad Bunny, but Bugs Bunny. But no. Randy Orton cutting a promo when he got Papa Shango'd and started spitting up black blood.
Papa Shango trended on Twitter. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. WrestleMania 47 days away, it says. Charlotte Flair and Asuka against Jackson Baszler. Went about 12 minutes. Asuka got a stiff kick in the face there and lost a tooth. Jackson Baszler retain. After the match, Charlotte tries to help up Asuka. Asuka slaps her hand away. I see a lot of people saying they believe Charlotte turning heel and gonna challenge Asuka for the title soon.
I'd rather Asuka turn heel.
That'd be cool too.
I just think she needs an edge right now.
I would like that just because it's
different.
We're not expecting it. We see Charlotte heel all the time.
Exactly.
But I hear Charlotte prefers to work heel, so we'll see. Sheamus and Jeff Hardy had a decent match, good match with those guys. Sheamus getting the win there, continuing to look strong. We got a backstage segment with Charlotte and Rick. I guess maybe writing Rick off TV now. I don't know. Maybe now that with Lacey being pregnant, that could have been what they were doing there. I don't know. Mandy and Dana Brooke jobbed to Naomi and Lana in 2 minutes. Ricochet jobs to AJ Styles in 4 minutes, even though he had a quick or a nice counter for the Styles Clash. And after the match, Omos gives Ricochet a 2-handed chokeslam. And then main event, Lashley and Strowman. Only went 5 minutes, but much like a Goldberg match, they did a lot with that 5 minutes. It was very entertaining. And as Matt said, Lashley winning clean was great because he looked dominant and then put the Hurt Lock on Strowman afterwards.
I'm shocked he got the Hurt Lock on.
Yeah.
That was my biggest surprise. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you don't see Strowman getting ragdolled like that too often. So perfectly booking Bobby Lashley there, I think. So very cool ending. And Miz basically looking like he's about ready to shit his pants. Dynamite. Kick things off with Hardy and Hangman against TH2 with Hardy and Hangman getting the win. And we found out what the swerve was. It was just basically a flip-flop. Hangman is going to get Hardy's 30% of his earnings and for the first quarter of, or actually no, all of his earnings for the
all
first
of
quarter,
his earnings, yeah,
for the first quarter of 2021. And Matt agreed that was a pretty crafty swerve, but decides to challenge him to a match and have him put up his money as well. And Hangman agrees to that. Is that match next? Is that this week?
No, that's a
Revolution. Or is that at Revolution? Okay.
Yeah. This week it's Cassidy and Hangman. One-on-one. Oh no.
Cassidy was in the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot uniform and attacks Hangman, and then TH2 was still at ringside, and Hardy told him that he would give him $3,700 to beat up Hangman Page. So they did so, but then -1 comes out leading the charge for the Dark Order to save Hangman Page. So then Page tried to go for the buckshot lariat, but Matt escaped, and Page slowly accepting the Dark Order, guys, isn't he?
It's gonna happen. I'm not sure when, but it's gonna scratch that. I know it's gonna happen this year. I just don't know when this year it's going to happen. But eventually, Hangman Page will be a part of the Dark Order, and it will be glorious.
Hangman fucks. Hangman fucks.
Not sure I'm down with that chant. Not sure I'm down with that chant.
Marvez interview in the Inner Circle. Santana and Ortiz are going to take on the Bucks for the titles. Jericho it admits that MJF is a piece of shit, but Sammy's a bigger piece of shit and doesn't want to hear his name ever again. Be interesting to see what happens with Sammy on this whole story. I don't know if he's really going to face any consequences on this whole Impact ordeal. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's not the first time he's gotten a little scolding either, Matt.
Yeah, well, apparently it's a bunch ado about nothing if you take what he says on his blog at face value. So,
yeah. Damn good match in the women's eliminator tournament between Serena Deeb and Riho. So second week in a row, we get a hell of a women's match. This one went about 15 minutes with Riho, the returning Riho, first match in Dynamite for over 11 months. And that was a hell of a match between those two ladies as Riho moves on, as probably Matt's prophecy is probably going to happen. I have not seen what happened on the YouTube side of things for the bracket, but Matt obviously had last week predicted that Britt Baker's going to run through all three former champions to get to the finals.
It's what they should have done, but they're not going to do it, and I'm not fucking happy about it.
What happened?
Oh, I already know who wins the American bracket. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give massive spoilers out to everybody, but I already know who's winning the American bracket. And I'm not fucking happy about it.
Oh, boy. Orange Cassidy took on Luther. That lasted all of 2 minutes. Team Taz coming out. This made waves because Sting took a bump, everybody. Sting took a bump. Cage gave him a big old power bomb.
He's cleared, pal.
Yep. And that should make people excited for the street fight. He ain't going to be pussyfooting around. So it may not be a cinematic match.
It might not be. Yeah, I'm not sure what their plan is now.
Eddie Kingston doing a little promo, as good as he always does it. JR saying WWE champion Kenny Omega. Whoops.
That sounds like a great alternative universe.
Oh, boy. Kenny Omega reading to kids at school. And then kids beating up Nakazawa. I thought that was funny. I like these little things with Kenny. Because, he's a heel. But he's trying to look like the good guy. This is not the main event. So I think that tells you that there's no title change. Bucks and Santana Ortiz for the tag titles, a tremendous match. No surprise. Probably match of the night, I would say. I don't even know if anything really came close to it, Matt. Well, I guess Riho and Deeb was good, but I think Bucks and Santana Ortiz match of the night. But placing it near the top of hour 2 pretty much told you that there weren't going to be a title change, was there?
I was 100% certain. I thought maybe you're looking for that good crossover hour rating.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was disappointed because I think they could have done a lot more by splitting the feuds up, and they could have done Bucks and the Good Brothers at Revolution, and they could have done Jericho and MJF against Santana and Ortiz, like teasing the dissension in the ranks further and whatnot. So you know how much I love the Bucks. Like I'm not complaining that they're tag team champions, but I think they made the wrong call.
Well, and Santana and Ortiz are long overdue to hold those belts too.
That was their first ever tag team title shot in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Like ridiculous.
Which is insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
After the match, Inner Circle beats up on the Bucks, and Gallows and Anderson took their sweet time to get to the ring. We'll find out why in a little bit on BTE. Cutler tried to make the save as well. Hager beat him down pretty easily. And then Jericho slapping on the Lion Tamer while MJF had the Salt of the Earth on. That's when the Good Brothers came out and everybody else backed up. Jericho getting in the face of Papa Buck. Come on, Papa. Lay one in on him. You know he can, Matt. Papa could lay one in on Jericho.
He laid one in on MJF.
Yep. We do Brandy Rhodes and Cody come out, do their gender reveal. It's a girl. FTR taking on Matt and Mike Sydal. Good little tag match there. I think it's pretty cool to have the Sydal brothers in. Obviously Mike's not signed yet, but it'd be kind of cool to have him signed and have them two tag together. I think that'd really kind of be a good thing. I thought they worked really well together, Matt. And I've never seen them wrestle together before. So
yeah, apparently the Sydal brothers really don't like that corner turnbuckle in Daly's place, pal.
Yeah, Mike had a one little botch.
Exact same turnbuckle that freaking Sydal had that issue with when he debuted. Same fucking turnbuckle.
Yeah.
I was just like, what are the fucking odds?
FTR hits the big rig. I love what they call the formerly known as the Shatter Machine, then formerly known as the Midnight. Was it the Midnight Express or something like that?
Midnight Express.
Good Night Express, yeah. And now the big rig. FTR gets the win there. And after the match, the lights go out and Jurassic Express comes out and battles FTR, continuing that feud. Probably going to be a Revolution match.
I wish the lights wouldn't have gone out.
I
wish the lights wouldn't have gone out.
Why?
When the lights go out, you're expecting a big surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody expected the Jurassic Express to come out and attack FTR. Like, don't do the lights out shit unless you have a big surprise for when the lights come back on. Because the crowd didn't even seem excited about it. And that crowd normally loves Jurassic Express. But even they were just like, don't do that. Don't do that to your current talent. Save the lights out shit for debuting people or people that have been out forever and are returning from an injury or stuff like that. That's what you save the lights out thing for. Don't do that for just somebody who's there every week. It doesn't work.
Next week on Dynamite, or tomorrow as we record, or today as you're listening to the show, or who knows when you're listening to the show, but Hangman Adam Page taking on Isaiah Cassidy. Women's World Title Tournament continues. Ricky Starks against Brian Cage against the Varsity Blondes. Jake Hager against Brandon Cutler. So not a strong lineup. But
I was just going to say, I saw the card for Dynamite today because they ran it down on Impact tonight. And I was just like, woof.
Yeah.
That's not a strong show, guys. Look, and I know they're building to March 3rd with Shaq in the Rain and of course the pay-per-view. But man, I was looking at that card tonight when they were running it down on Impact, and I'm like, this might be the weakest Dynamite card they've ever done.
Yeah.
And I hope that means they know that and they're gonna have some great surprises, and there's going to be some cool stuff to make up for it. But like the match listing tomorrow night leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, and actually FTR takes on Jurassic Express next week with Tully Blanchard in the ring as 6-man tag.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's the March 3rd episode. Yep.
Mm-hmm. On Revolution, Face of the Revolution ladder match. Winner gets a TNT Championship match. They announced Cody Rhodes Penta and Scorpio Sky for the match. That's going to be a great fucking match, and good to see Scorpio back in the ring. It's been a while. 3 more wrestlers.
He's been out injured. Like I didn't even know he was out hurt, but he.
Yeah, I asked that question last week.
I said it on Twitter. He was out like he said a torn meniscus.
Yeah, I was out. I had asked that question last week. I was like, was he just out doing the podcast thing, or does he actually hurt? You know. And,
yeah, like they didn't announce it, so nobody knew he was hurt. You know, we just figured he just off TV for some unknown reason. But yeah, he was actually out hurt. So, which sucks for him. But hopefully a good showing at the pay-per-view will get him back on track. And apparently, Tony Khan's already teasing whoever the 6th person's going to be.
I admit I have not seen it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, I have the quote from him talking about the 4th person will be determined this week between Archer and Phoenix, and then there's going to be another qualifier for the 5th man. And let me pull up this quote for the 6th guy. Yeah, during a recent interview, Tony Khan stated they have more qualified matches, but one spot will be left empty. He didn't hint at a debut, but he did say that he has a good idea who could fill the spot. This is a Tony Khan quote. So I'm having a qualifying match this week. I'm planning on another one next week, and then there's another spot. I haven't decided what to do with it yet. I have an idea, and I think I know who might be pretty good for it. So people might have to wait until Revolution to find out who the last person in the ladder match is. But there's definitely going to be some exciting qualifying matches in the next couple of weeks.
Impact guy?
So I don't know. I think it should, honestly, I think if you're just gonna do somebody already on the roster, give it to Miro.
Yeah, or Spears.
I think Miro deserves it more than Spears, no offense.
Yeah.
I think Miro definitely deserves to be in that match. So
main event time, 6-man tag with Kingston, Butcher, and the Blade against Moxley, Phoenix, and Archer. Good match as always with those guys. Good guys get the win after the paradigm shift on Eddie Kingston. Moxley standing on the turnbuckle like a dumb babyface when the Good Brothers attack. And then out comes Kenny Omega and Don Callis. And Omega said that the Valentine's Day gift that Tony Khan had for Kenny Omega was a rematch clause for the world title at Revolution. And Omega announces it's going to be an exploding barbed wire death match. Right up Moxley's alley. And then Omega nails Moxley with a couple of V triggers. And that ends the show. A excellent Dynamite. So maybe tomorrow will be excellent. We're just not expecting it.
I hope so.
That happens. That happens sometimes.
It does.
When the card is kind of weak.
But yeah, it's a weak looking card tomorrow. Honestly the weakest card I've ever seen AEW put out.
I won't be watching live.
But I'm hoping that they're still going to deliver a great show regardless.
Yeah, I won't be watching live. I'm gonna have a couple of adult beverages. I'll probably be back about 11 Central, and then I'll pop in Dynamite before I go to bed, though. Being the Elite this week, start with the Bucks getting helped out in the backstage by the Good Brothers, and the Bucks are wondering what took the Good Brothers so long. Well, Luke had to do a little kiss.
So ridiculous.
He had to blow his wad in the bathroom. And then Carl said, well, fuck, I might as well too. Carl goes into the women's bathroom.
So ridiculous.
Little whiz, little kiss, you know. Oh, man. Good brothers, man. We need to have those guys on BTE all the damn time. Bucks kind of doing it old school, BTE old school. We're at the airport with as they're picking up Mama and Papa Buck. As they were, as you saw them in attendance at the show here last week. They're taking a look at Matt and Nick on the old back of the semi trailer. They're a local arcade. A couple of arcade owners challenging Kenny Omega to Street Fighter, almost the original one of the original Street Fighter 2s and
Championship Edition.
Yeah, Championship Edition. One of the owners was giving him a good run for his money. The other one looked like he got smoked.
Yeah.
Kenny still got it though. The ongoing feud between Allie and Cutler continuing, and Allie putting some tanner in Cutler's coffee, but then Blade shows up telling Cutler he's wanted for some camera work, and Bunny's yelling at her husband like, "What the hell? I had him set up perfectly." I'd like to see a little more husband and wife, a little Braxton and Bunny on BTE. I'd like that. Matt presenting Isaiah with a fancy little VIP diamond necklace. Where was Mark Quinn, by the way?
I don't know where both of them live. There's a chance he might live in an area
might have been weather
out due to the weather. Yeah. I know a lot of people couldn't get to the tapings.
That might be why
that week.
That might be why Isaiah was the only one on Dynamite, and then also the subsequent BTE. And they show Matt paying off TH2 the 3,700. So talking about maybe a working relationship in the future between those guys. The Jacksons talking to Cutler, telling Cutler he's going to finally get a Dynamite match against Jack Swagger. Oh, you can't say that though, Matt. Can't say that. WWE champion Kenny Omega. Oh, can't say that either.
We're live, pal.
We got the Dark Order. They're having it. They're happy because they saved Hangman, and then that led to a lot of sexual Hangman talk. Let's just.
It was borderline creepy. Creepy.
It's always borderline creepy, especially with Johnny Hunt.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of took it to a new level this week. I was just like, come on, guys. You can dial this back a little bit, please.
Oh, that led to a fuck Hangman chant or Hangman fucks chant because Hangman Hangman fucks, and Hangman walks in. He kind of liked that chant, so he's asking for everybody's numbers, and they gave off their Dark Order numbers. I'm 8. It says Colt Cabana. 10 gives a phone number, and Hangman goes, "Is this international?" He goes, "No, it just spells cocaine out." Fucking 10 needs to go to rehab.
Oh boy,
the Dark Order, man. Sammy Guevara, speaking of indecent, posing naked with the BTE championship belt around his talking about it. He's going to face Mama Guevara on his vlog for the title, which aired that debuts on Tuesdays, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah, Sammy's vlog up today.
Yeah. And so I have yet to watch Sammy's vlog. That might be something. That's usually something I pop in after we record, so I'll probably check that out after we record. And then the next chapter of catching Cutler sleeping, and actually Cutler caught them recording this time. And that ended BTE. NXT this week. Kyle O'Reilly comes out. He is really not happy, and Roddy Strong trying to come out and keep the peace, and Kyle just does not want to hear anything from Kyle, or from he doesn't want to hear from anything from Roddy. Finn comes out, and O'Reilly really doesn't want to hear from Finn either. But then Dunn, Lorcan, and Birch do a little cheap attack, and everybody breaks it up, and that leads to a 6-man match later on in the evening. Santos Escobar ducking Karrion Kross. Regal makes an ultimatum that he'll be suspended indefinitely and stripped of the Cruiserweight title if he does not show up this week. And it is a non-title match because, well, I don't think Karrion Kross is 205, Matt.
Wait, sure?
Might have to weigh in. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell take on Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. And Austin Theory, he's back.
He wasn't missed.
I think he's funny. He does the goofy part pretty well. I like the way. They're entertaining to me. And hey, Matt, support indie wrestling.
I do.
I know you do. Shotzi and Ember get the win. But Indy and Candice didn't care because they're happy to have Austin back. Pat McAfee doing a promo on the plane just to let everybody know what kind of a scumbag Adam Cole is. God, I hope Matt McAfee comes back soon. I miss him. He wants hashtag Pat was right trending. Kushida interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. Said he was honored to be at TakeOver, but he's not done with Johnny Gargano. Bronson Reed showed up and said he's not done with Johnny Gargano. I didn't know he was even involved with Johnny Gargano. So, but apparently that's starting the feud, though.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, why the hell not? Swerve took on Leon Ruff. Leon gets a little bit of a fluke win there, as Swerve can only smile, but then Swerve beats the shit out of Ruff afterwards. Are you liking heel Swerve?
If it gets some wins, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I think eventually
the dude hardly ever wins matches, so
still isn't win. It hasn't really changed it.
Well, I'm just saying, if the heel turn eventually gets him some wins, I'm all for it. If he's going to continue to lose as many matches as a heel that he was a babyface, and it was a dumb fucking decision.
Really getting like Chris Bay vibes, him as a heel. Kind of very similar. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter, quick win over the Robert Stone brands, Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea. After the match, Xia Li and Boa show up. Carter tries to talk to Xia, but Xia doesn't give a shit. They did the trophy presentation for MSK and Dakota and Raquel. Pretty good stuff there. Shayna and Nia show up, making it pretty evident that Raquel and Dakota are kind of the face in this kind of feud, I guess you would say.
Seems that way.
I thought it was a good segment, though, Matt. I enjoyed that whole trophy thing with MSK. Good promo from them guys, and then the promo between the two tag teams. I thought it was a pretty good segment, in my opinion. And more jokes about that hole ain't never gonna die. Isn't that a line from Alice in Chains the Rooster? That hole ain't ever gonna die. Cameron Grimes music video. To the moon. Oh, I'm just cracking up at this. Kushida took on Tyler Rust. Kushida gets the win after about this was probably Tyler Rust's best NXT match, in my opinion. Probably a lot of that on Kushida for Kushida being so damn good. But did you notice Big E wearing a Bivens shirt?
Yeah.
This week?
Yeah. Was it Big E or was it?
Or was it KO?
No, I think it was Kevin Owens.
Was it KO? Okay. Yeah, KO's been wearing a lot of NXT shirts lately.
Yeah, he wore the Everrise one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I don't even know why they have a shirt. But
I don't get them.
I remember some talents I was waiting for years for them to get a fucking shirt, and fucking dollar store Young Bucks fucking have a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I like Michael Bivens though.
Wrestlers get shirts now.
I was a big fan of Stokely Hathaway in Ring of Honor. So I'm not sold on Tyler Rust yet. Maybe I'll come around. I've come around.
I made the suggestion to some people yesterday that if the main thing that's holding Ricochet back in WWE is his mic skills, they should pair him up with Bivens.
Ooh.
And
I like
just
it.
let him work and let Bivens talk.
I like it. We head to the home of
Dummy, yeah.
L.A. Knight, yeah. Let me talk to you. He ended it with his fact of life line, so I'm glad to see that line is not going away.
It seems like all of his lines have remained intact.
I like it.
It's just he just had to change his name.
He doesn't do the dummy much. I haven't seen him do the dummy. He'll do the yeah, but yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah. Zoe Stark making her singles debut in NXT. She was a part of the 8-team tournament for Dusty Cup. I like Zoe Stark. I kind of liked what I saw out of her in that match.
I thought it was a great debut.
Yeah.
I think they're fucking her over though.
How so?
They're putting her against Io Shirai tomorrow.
Oh, are they? Ooh.
And like, there's no way they're gonna let her. There's no way they're gonna let her win. So
unless,
I don't see. I
bet you Tony. I bet you Tony attacks. I bet you Tony attacks and causes a DQ.
Which would be fine. I just think after the great debut last week, you shouldn't set her up to fail this week.
Nope. I bet you Tony attacks and there's no
I hope you're right.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett cutting a little promo on Santos TikTok. God, Scarlett's hot. Got our main event: Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan taking on O'Reilly, Balor, and Strong. Hell of a 6-man tag to end the night. Adam Cole coming out, causing some havoc, dropping Kyle O'Reilly with a brain buster on the stairs, doing the stretcher job on Kyle O'Reilly. He's fine. It was an angle, kids. They didn't show the stretcher job on TV. It's shown on WWE social media after NXT went off the air. I miss this Adam Cole though, man. I love it. Wednesday nights are heating up, Matt. That was good. That was a good pairing. NXT and Dynamite were pretty good, weren't they?
Yeah, both of them. I thought both of them had good shows last week.
Confirmed for NXT this week, Adam Cole is going to explain his actions. Gargano takes on Dexter Lumis in a non-title match. Santos Escobar and Karrion Kross is now no DQ. Xia Li will take on Casey Catanzaro. Grizzled Young Veterans take on Maverick and Killian Dane. God, dare I say it, NXT has a better card than AEW this week. And that's a fact of life.
Dummy, yeah.
Well, speaking of dummies, Teddy Hart once again in jail.
I don't want to talk about that fucking idiot.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah. That's all that needs to be said. He doesn't deserve to have, like anything really said about him.
Nope. Young Rock. I loved it.
So did I. Looking forward to watching episode 2 tonight as soon as we're done recording.
I might do the same. I was like, I'm going to head to Peacock and watch. Like, oh, somebody was like, why aren't you watching on USA? I go, because I got Peacock ad free, baby.
Man, I just DVR'd some bitch.
I have Impact going at the same time, and I think I have something else going on too, and I can only record 2 things at once.
See, the way our DVR is set up with Verizon, we can record. I have like 4 or 5 things recorded at once on Wednesday nights.
It's a
big night.
Once if I end up moving here sometime this year, I think I'm gonna drop cable finally. I've always been hesitant to drop cable, but I think YouTube TV looks very good. The only thing it doesn't have is access. So, but that's on Twitch, right?
Yeah, it's on Twitch.
So I could just pop that on my Chromecast and watch it. I'll be like maybe a minute behind everybody that's on cable, but I can just pop Twitch on my Chromecast, and so that problem solved there. YouTube TV has unlimited DVR and every channel that I need, including NFL Red Zone. So,
how much is YouTube TV a month?
$65. But it's unlimited DVR. Because like Sling, you got 30 a month, but that's for half a package, and then the other half is 35 or whatever. And I think Hulu is 50 or something, but you're missing channels there. YouTube TV has the best, and plus, like with Sling, you got to pay for DVR, where it's unlimited DVRs included with YouTube TV. So there's like a lot of things that are included, even though it's a higher price, plus better channel selection. So
yeah, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so if I might finally cut cable. Like I'm like one of the last ones holding on.
No, I still have cable, and honestly, I'd be very interested to hear your experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it and you go to YouTube TV, I'd be interested in seeing how you feel about it. After a couple months of using it, yeah, I would be definitely curious.
I probably could do a free trial. I bet
they always offer the free trial, but I don't want to
try it free.
Yeah, I don't want to give them I don't want to give them the credit card information and to forget.
What's my Google? I always set a calendar reminder for shit like that.
They always do that shit because they hope people will forget.
Yeah, and I don't. I always immediately when I start a free trial, I'll put on my calendar cancel. So Young Rock really good. Looks like covering 3 different timelines of the Rock's life, and good casting, and that homeless guy was pretty funny. What was his name? Waffles, yes. And I mean, these are all true stories of the Rock. So
I think that story was a bit altered.
Probably.
Because he told that story several months ago about had to do with Harvey Whippleman when the hobo was in the back of the car. So I think that story was slightly altered from another point in his life, but it's TV.
I'm sure. So, there's some embellishment going on.
Yeah.
Young Rock, the biggest debut for NBC since 2017.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Brought in 5.03 million viewers. Third highest audience on broadcast TV for that night, behind only NCIS and This Is Us, which are 2 juggernauts on.
Yeah, those are both gigantic shows.
Yep. So biggest
debut. This Is Us is on the same channel.
Yep.
So I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure they weren't upset about
it. Impact, nice rating for them last week. 197,000 people. Their highest rating since I think Kenny Omega showed up, because I think December 8th was when Kenny showed up, and that was where they popped 221. And both, if I'm reading this right, both Impact on Access and Impact in 60 hit top 150 in cable.
That's cool.
So Impact is on the rise. Before the Impact did not hit top 150, but hell, it's at 6:00 Central. It's not really even prime time for us considered. So, but Impact in 60, featuring New Japan Pro Wrestling content, got 111,000 viewers. They kept over half of their viewers from Impact last week for the New Japan stuff. Both AEW and NXT were good shows, and both saw their audiences rise. NXT, a significant rise, 713 up from 558. AEW, slight rise at 747 up from 741. AEW still dominating in the 18 to 49 demo, nearly doubling NXT at 0.31 to 0.16. SmackDown goes ahead of 2 million after falling for 1 week. Below 2 million, they go back up at 2.07 million. And Monday Night Raw also with a bump up 1.89 million. As we mentioned when we covered Raw, they were able to keep the audience a little better in hours 2 and 3, as they both saw increases. Hour 2 had an increase of over 100,000 viewers. Hour 3 about 70,000 more than last week. Straight Up Steve Austin with Burt Kreischer, the lowest rated show of the year, which is kind of sad because I like Burt Kreischer.
Well,
but it was also on later. It wasn't.
I was going to say there was a 30-minute cushion with the Rock in there that people that had already seen it just tuned out, didn't stick around.
Yep, I forgot about that.
I think that affected it pretty big.
Yeah, 360,000 turned in for the Burt Kreischer episode. I still got to watch that yet. I am all caught up though. I watched Steve-O the other night. That was fucking great.
I actually did not see this week's episode for the reason I just stated. I already saw Young Rock. I turned it, and then I forgot about it. Yep. What you drinking? What you drinking there, JB? What you got there?
A little Diet Coke from Arby's. I got
so hungry you could eat at Arby's.
I got Arby's. I hadn't really ate in 2 days, so
damn, dude.
Well, like ate a meal. I wasn't feeling good yesterday.
Stomach issues. Yeah.
I
don't like to eat when my stomach gets fucked up either.
More like I was hungover, but.
Oh well, when you're hungover, are you supposed to eat?
I wasn't hungry. I had like some beef sticks and some Pringles, and that was it. I didn't even eat lunch. Maybe I had a microwave dinner for lunch. I can't remember, but yeah, I didn't eat dinner. I tried to sleep a little bit. I fell asleep during Summer Raw, but it was like and then I couldn't sleep all night. I was up all fucking night, which was shitty.
That's brutal.
Yeah. So I snuck in a couple naps during work today, and then about 3 hours after work, and hopefully I can get back on track tonight.
Yeah, hopefully you get a good night's sleep tonight and feel better.
Feel
better and ready to roll tomorrow.
I can go drink tomorrow.
Oh, JB.
Well, I'm only gonna go out for.
Stop hangmaning it.
Hangman fucks. Yeah. I'll only be out from like 8 to 11. I ain't going crazy tomorrow. Just gonna go see a buddy. WWE has renewed its partnership with Snickers. So for the 6th straight year, they will be the sponsor of WrestleMania. A lot of fake reports of Kyle O'Reilly having a seizure, which was not the case. It was all a work, kids. All a work. February 28th.
To me, that's an indictment on allowing fans back into arenas right now. Because if that stupid fan wouldn't have put out the pictures and caused that speculation to begin with, no one would have fucking thought that by the end of NXT last week.
He was just selling good.
It was just selling. Nobody would have came to that conclusion from watching
such good shit.
NXT last week. Yep. And that fucking idiot had to take photos and video ringside and send the entire internet wrestling community into a fucking panic attack.
Before I was working on Wednesday night, and I think Mark Show messaged me, and I said immediately, I bet you 99% it's a work. I said that before even seeing anything. I go, I bet it's a work.
The reason why people didn't think it was a work is because it all occurred off camera.
Mm-hmm.
With Triple H coming out and being there when he's getting freaking stretchered out.
It wasn't really off camera though, because it was on the net. It was on the social media.
Days later though.
Oh, was it not until? I thought it was later on that night.
It was days later. They didn't.
Oh.
They waited for days to put that up because of what happened online.
Oh, this is going to be good. The 28th of February, which is coming up. Come on, calendar. Sunday. Big E's WWE 24 will debut.
Yeah, that's also the day of that AEW women's special on Bleacher Report.
WWE has filed trademark for the name of Kevin Patrick.
Whatever the fuck that's going to be.
Just about when we said they filed a trademark they filed a trademark for Wes Lee. Oh, we feel sorry for the schmuck that's getting that. Well, now he's going to be a tag team champion.
I'm very worried about what they're going to rename Taya Valkyrie to.
Oh, are they going to rename her? You think they're going to rename her?
They've been renaming everybody, so I'm kind of worried she's going to get renamed.
Taya Morrison.
Well, that actually wouldn't be that bad, but at that point, you just debut her on the main roster. You don't keep her in NXT, and I'm hearing she's going to go to NXT, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, if you don't think she's main roster ready, why did you even sign her?
So apparently NBC replayed Young Rock as well.
Later in the week, I heard he pulled almost 2 million viewers in that time.
Yeah, 1.8.
Yeah, so I mean that's impressive, man.
Upcoming guests for Straight Up Steve Austin, Joe McHale. Love that guy. He's awesome. Was the host of The Soup. Now he's the host of Card Sharks. You see him on Match Game a lot. He'll be the next guest, and then Charlotte Flair on the 8th. And then I also got to catch his conversation with Sasha Banks, which was about
really, really good.
90 minutes long.
Yeah, it was good shit, pal.
Bad news. Heath has announced that he's going to have some surgery on March 1st. So he's got a lot of hernia issues, and so he's going to get those taken care of, and hopefully we can have him back by the end of the year.
Fucking sucks. Really fucking sucks.
His kid video bombing him while he's making the announcement. I like the signed Nexus framed picture in the background there he had on there. Tony Khan getting a promotion, as he will now be the SVP of Football Operations Strategy.
I don't think he needs a promotion in the Jaguars organization right now. I think he has his hands full enough as it is.
Yeah.
And I don't really think his father should be piling more on his plate right now.
Or let me fix that. Jaguars hire Kareem Kassim as the SVP of Football Operations Strategy, and he will report to Tony Khan, who has been elevated to Chief Football Strategy Officer.
The fuck does that even mean?
Don't know.
It's probably just a fake title to make more money. He probably has nothing. It's probably not a promotion at all. Which, if that's the case, say more power to him. Make him a name and give him more money.
Then he can buy some more spots on Impact.
To me, he's giving me my favorite professional wrestling product I've had in a long time. Yeah, if you want to make him up a fake name and pay him more money in the NFL side of things, I'm totally okay with that. That just means he has more money to spend on AEW.
WWE UK, WWE YouTube channel posting a video on Walter as he is approaching the record of Pete Dunes for the.
I thought he already broke it.
Yeah, he might have by now. Well, this article was on the 20th, so.
Yeah, I feel like he already broke it.
Let's see. Yep, he's at 691 now. Yep, so he's broken it.
And what was done at?
685.
Yeah.
Bailey and Aaron Solo have ended their engagement, as Solo had announced on Twitter.
Yeah, that's kind of sucky.
Speaking of sucky, it's been announced that Anna Jay will be out for 6 to 12 months as she has shoulder surgery. Oh, those two words I hate to say on the podcast because I can't say them together. Shoulder surgery.
That broke my heart, man.
Anna, she wasn't on BTE this week either.
Yeah, and I was wondering where she was.
Anna.
And I found out hours later, and I was just like, no.
She could still be on BTE once. She's been replaced by.
They're not going to fly her into TV.
She's been replaced by Maddie Rinkowski in the tournament.
Yeah, who lost? Duh.
Chris Jericho trademarks an old name that he had in CMLL. Corazon de Leon.
The only thing I can assume is he's going to do some kind of mask gimmick in AEW at some point this year, and that's what he's going to call himself.
English translation is Lionheart.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre was backstage at Raw. Wasn't used, obviously, to sell that injury. Asuka was legitimately injured on Monday night. Lost a tooth. According to Mike Johnson, PW Insider, have not been able to confirm if there was any further injury beyond losing a tooth.
Hopefully that was it. I mean, that's bad enough.
And Taya Valkyrie has officially reported to the Performance Center.
Doesn't need it.
No, she don't.
That's going to do ridiculous reporting to the Performance Centers ever.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Lost the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way, you know, every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday. We're also on the YouTube, and so go ahead and get the links to that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Make sure to click that bell icon so you know every time a new episode comes your way. Give us a little thumbs up on the YouTube as well. Give us some comments there as well. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Let us know what you think of This Week in Pro Wrestling. We'd love to interact with you on the YouTube. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. You can always interact with us on the Twitter as well. Before we ride off into the sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I just want another good night of wrestling tomorrow night. I hope the lackluster card is a smokescreen from AEW, and we're still going to get a great show. We'll find out soon enough.
We will. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We'll catch you next week.